Hey folks, Big Woodsman here. Today we're going to be building an anvil stand, so stay tuned. Let's see what we get into. So the first thing we're going to do is take our ash log out to the sawmill. We're going to basically square it on the mill, bring it back in, and then we can start working on this anvil stand. So the next thing we've gone and done is we've nailed on a couple of scrap strips here. We've put them in 1 inch and 3/8 because that's what our saw deck cuts. We're 1 inch and 3/8 from the actual edge of the blade. We're going to go now and run our skill saw around this entire perimeter of this log, and we're going to square the entire end dead flat. So we have our anvil stand. It's completely flat on the one side. It's nice and solid. Now the next thing we have to do is measure the height. So we know that our anvil is 16 high. So the next thing we have to do to be comfortable is basically stand beside it with your knuckles down, because that's where you're going to be swinging your hammer. And you want to measure from the bottom of your knuckles to the floor minus the height of your anvil. And that's where we need to cut off our next block. So we need to know that this has to be 18.5 from the floor, and that's going to give us a very comfortable swinging height so we can work at it for hours. So let's go ahead and measure that. We'll put on our strips and we'll cut that off just the same as we did on the other end. So now that we have our block completely squared off, flat, level, everything's good, it's the right height for our anvil, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put some decorative strips across the top and the bottom just to widen the stance a little bit. And then potentially put a nice tool rack on the side so you can hang your tongs. Now that we have our blocks cut, we've got them routed with a little round over, cut, planed, ready to go. We're just going to nail these in place with a nice galvanized nail, flat to the bottom. And now we repeat that for the rest of the sides. So we decided now that we've got the bottom pieces on, we're going to put a nice square top surface on this for the anvil to sit on. We're going to leave these holes in the corners so that way you can hang your tongs and such. Instead of putting one on the side, you can hang them right in the corners of that. So they're just going to come right out when you need them. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to measure these off, put 45s in each corner, and mount these just the same as we did the bottom pieces. So here we have it, folks. Here's our finished anvil stand. We've got our nice solid block of wood. We've put some extra pieces along the bottom just for extra support, help it stand a little bit more solid. We've got a nice flat bearing surface. We decided to put a little ring around the outside, hopefully prevent a bit more of the checking, give you a bit more solid surface. The nice part is we've left the corners open so we can hang our tools right in the stand. So instead of putting one that's down here way low so you don't have to bend down and get it, you can sort of put it right there in the corner. So there you have it. In a couple hours, we've managed to produce our anvil stand. It's a solid block. It's measured right for the right height. Perfect for hammering so you don't get fatigue in your arm. So like, subscribe, and remember, it's life out there in the woods. I'll see you out there in it.